What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Diversified Gentlemen. Today, we are going to be discussing balling on a budget.
Yes, sir. So for you guys, what does that mean? Balling on a budget. What y'all think it means?
To me,
go ahead, Reese.
It just means experiencing the finer things in life, but responsibly, not going broke, trying to show off or indulge, but having that balance of actually taking those nice trips, dressing nice, eating nice, and not being, $50,000 in debt by doing so.
Yeah.
I feel I'm on the same page, man. A lot of times people think you have to sacrifice necessities to look like you live in a luxury lifestyle. You know what I mean? But you don't have to. You can do a lot of things out here and live comfortably without breaking the bank. That's the biggest thing.
Exactly. So I think we're about to do a lot of brand promotion without getting paid, but whatever, because of the territory. So let's get into it, man. I think for me, one of my favorite apps to use when I'm traveling is Turo. It's kind of like the Airbnb for cars. You know what I mean? People just put their cars on there. You can rent them out, but you can get some dope cars on
Yes,
Turo,
sir.
man. Like if you want to drive a Tesla, you go on Turo, you just rent a Tesla. You know what I mean? For $100 a day or something like that. You know, I've seen Phantoms, Ferraris, Lamborghinis. Like I've seen everything on Turo. So usually when I go home to Vegas, or I mean, just this last time when I went to Tampa, I rented a 4 Series. I ain't never driven a 4 Series before.
Right.
So you could definitely, you know what I mean, ball a little bit, see what it's like to have that type of vehicle for nothing. You know what I mean? A couple $100.
It was funny. I remember a couple of years ago when I rented that i8. I'm gonna take the wife out.
I thought it was yours.
Nice. Nah.
Yeah,
too cheap for that, man. So what I did was like, I want to do something a little different. So I rented an i8. We had a good time, man. It was a great vehicle to drive, get that experience of it. But two things we learned from that: we enjoyed a vehicle for the time we went to enjoy it. But guess what? We didn't have no car payment. We didn't have no insurance the next month. We had a good time driving. Gave it right back 2 days later, and we was good to go. And realized that we don't want that car now because the way it drove, it was nice, but just getting in and out of it wasn't as what you thought it was. A lot of times you get to test out luxury cheaper to see if you actually would want it. Like everybody say, I want a Lambo. You ever driven a Lambo? No. Go rent one.
Yeah.
I'll go rent a Lambo, drive it for a couple of days to see if you like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was going to be my next point was if you're thinking about getting a car like that, rent it. You know what I mean? Really drive it, not just going on a test drive around the block. Like really drive it, see what the functionality is, see if you actually like it. If you're spending, $50,000 plus, $100,000 on a car, you gotta make sure that you want the shit. Like, it's not cheap.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Every time I go back home, or we take a vacation, I rent Jeeps, right? I'm just fond of Jeeps. I'm infatuated with Jeeps. However, it wouldn't fit into my lifestyle with having 4 kids and even living in DC where you get all the 4 climates, and Florida makes a little more sense.
Right.
DC not, right? So when I go out, I call it my Jeep fix. Same thing. I rent it for a weekend and then I'm good. I'm like, man, that was fun. But like you say, I don't have to deal with the maintenance. I don't have to deal with the repairs. I don't have to deal with the car note. And I don't have to deal with all right, the family needs to go out. Not everyone could fit. So it's almost like a grandparents when they come for the weekend, they spoil your kids and they get out of there, right? So it's one of those deals where you can have the fun without the responsibility.
Yeah, they got deals now. They got one here in St. Louis where you can drive, like, got Lambos, they got Huracans, they got the Aventadors, all kinds of them, right? You can drive them on a racetrack, like full speed, safety of the closed racetrack for a weekend. You have a good time. You can open it up a little bit without worried about getting a ticket or crashing. Well, I won't say about crash, you still can crash, but without the ticket and worry about other traffic. So you can do these things, live these things, and enjoy them without breaking your bank. Just got to look for it.
Yeah, they got the same thing in Vegas. And Reese, I cannot see you as a Jeep dude, man. I did not know that. Like,
Yeah.
so you
I
can never
mean,
see yourself. Go ahead.
I guess I'm not a Jeep dude because I don't got a Jeep, but you know, I always every time I see Jeep, like, damn, I wish I had a Jeep. Or, you know, but it's one of those deals where when I get my fix, every time I drive one, it's not like I need to go out and get a Jeep. It's like, cool, that was cool. And then the next time I'll run it again. But I guess I'm just infatuated with them.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that practical, especially for my lifestyle. But I like them though.
More definitely like bachelor type car, or if if it's just you and your girl, whatever. But I mean, I kind of feel the same way with pickup trucks. So I went TDY to Destin, and like a couple of years ago, and the rental place gave me a pickup truck. I'd never driven a pickup truck before. So I'm like, okay, whatever, because she saw my driver's license, it was Texas, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna make you feel home, right? I'm like, okay, whatever. So she gave me a pickup truck. Afterwards, I'm like, okay, I see why. I see the situation with it. Like,
yeah, man.
Yeah,
sitting up high, looking down at everybody.
Exactly. You're like the man did, like, yo, watch out.
You like I'm about to pick up a bale of hay if I want to. I can move some furniture.
I'll tell you one thing, man. Shoot, think about having a pickup truck. You get a call all the time. Hey, man, I gotta move something. Can you help me out?
Yeah.
Can I borrow the truck? Constantly.
Yeah, I remember you had the pickup truck in Germany. You the only person in Germany with a pickup truck. I was like, yo, like 2 months in, I'm like, hey, I need you, bro. I got a treadmill.
Same. They got the same truck right now. Do the same thing, man.
Yeah. So I want to switch over. So we talked about the cars. Let's go into living, right? When you're on the move, on vacation, do you guys prefer Airbnb or hotels?
Nah, Airbnb.
I can't do hotels now.
Yeah,
Airbnb,
me too.
100%.
Yeah, me too. Especially being overseas, I love getting Airbnbs overseas, man. I don't know if you guys did that a lot, but
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
one of the reasons why is European hotels really suck.
Yeah.
So Airbnbs is much. They're just much more efficient and practical than them small ass European rooms with,
The baby breakfast. I hate the breakfasts in Germany, bro.
And then one thing with Airbnb, you can get these houses. You go with groups, your costs gonna drop even more.
Yeah, tremendously.
You get a big old house with a bunch of bedrooms in it. You're gonna be able to live like a pretty nice and your lower cost because you have more people spreading their wealth.
Airbnb is to me, it's the way to go, man. If you're going with a group of folks, like y'all said, that's the way to go. Usually the only reason I would get a hotel is if I'm traveling by myself.
Yeah, no,
if I'm by myself, I'll get a hotel. But if I'm going with a group of people, my first suggestion is like, let's get an Airbnb. Because you're gonna probably find something, more than likely you're gonna find something really nice.
And a pro tip for Airbnb, man, what you can do is, all those listening on Airbnb, if you research enough and find the actual owner of the property, you go around that, call them directly, and you usually get cheaper that way.
I think it's the same thing with the cars. You can get this great, like you say, you can live in that mansion in Orlando for a week or in DR for a week, and you don't have, a $10,000 a month house note. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or you don't have to deal with all that maintenance and landscaping, but you have, experienced that, and now you can go back to your more practical life.
Yeah.
But, maintaining a lazy river in the backyard is not cheap.
That's not cheap. So yeah, I think so. What's the best Airbnb that you guys have had so far? Best one. Like, no doubt. Like,
I know one. Yeah, I know one. In Tennessee, man, we were in Tennessee and got this cabin. It was like, we almost bought one. It was so nice. I wish you would have, man. It was funny. I have to go back on finances, but the cabin we stayed in Tennessee was beautiful. It was like 7 bedrooms, stayed another family. It was amazing. So we were like, how much this thing costs? We looked it up, and it was about $225, $230. Not that big, not that have a price. So we were like, maybe we should go ahead and get one and go ahead and rent this thing out. I was like, nah, we ain't really into this area too much. It's just now we just hyped up because we're here and we love it. Trying to find something here. Never mind. Kind of passed on it. about a month ago. I'm like, I wonder what the prices of them houses are right now. Let me go check them out, how much they appreciate it. We go online, check it out, $475.
Really?
The same exact one we was in is now worth $475,000. So that whole thing about, you know, buy real estate and don't wait to buy real estate, 100% true, man. 100% true. Now I'm saying like boo boo the fools. I didn't buy one.
Dang, man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yes. And you said what was the original price? It's 475 now. And how long ago was how much?
That was 235 when I looked at it. That was like 4 years ago.
Oh wow.
Hey,
So it more than doubled. It doubled.
That's crazy.
I knew it was gonna happen though. Let me look it up and see what it is right now in this market.
Yeah. And it was a cabin. It was a cabin.
Cabin. I mean, it had a pool, jacuzzi, several entertainment rooms, a theater room with like the theater seating. All of this amazing. It was beautiful.
So I got one. So actually two locations that I've been to where I'm like, yo, this Airbnb was amazing. One was Ibiza. So it was a trip that it was like me, Kenny, Gene, it was a bunch of us that went. And we went from Croatia to Ibiza, and we stayed at this villa in Ibiza. And it was like maybe like $200 a night or something like that. We were there for like 3 nights. This villa was absolutely amazing. Granted, it wasn't near anything. Like it was like some Pablo Escobar type shit. Like it was off in the cut down a dirt road. But we actually had 4-wheelers that we took all, you know, around Ibiza. But like, thankfully we got it and didn't go with a driver or anything because we would just been coming out of pocket like crazy. But this villa it was immaculate. Pool, private set. It was just dope. And Houston, I went to Houston with a couple of boys. This was like a couple of years ago. And the guy that owned this home, it was like a remodeled home. And he worked at like the oil fields or something like that. So that's why he rented it out. His house was from the neighborhood, you could tell it was kind of gentrified. Like used to be the hood, now they're trying to clean it up. This dude's house was amazing, and it was $500 a night. And I'm like, okay, I see why it's $500 a night.
Wow.
Like it was on point, man, on point. And it was the same thing. Like he got the home, it was right after the flood, the Houston flood. So he got that house for like, I think he said something like $175,000, and it's worth like more than this, but he got it on the cheap right after the flood. Crazy. It was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think also when you think of those like the best Airbnb, I think you're thinking about the experience. I think you're going to go to, you know, how much fun you had, who was with you versus just the actual unit, right? So I think when you have an Airbnb, you can rent a 4-bedroom house and you and your 3 homies could stay with you, or, you know, you rent a 5-6 bedroom, you know, let's call it a mansion in Orlando, and all you and your whole family could be in it. It makes it just a more enjoyable feeling versus all of you guys retreating back. Even if you guys are staying at a hotel, everyone retreating back to their own room and syncing up, because in this big Airbnb, y'all can meet in the living room. Y'all could be in the kitchen cooking, laughing, talking, versus basically in solitary confinement, you know, in your own little hotel room. So I think just going back to that experience and that camaraderie and that fellowship that Airbnb provides, and other, I think Home in a Way, that's a good one, but other services like that, I think that's what makes the experience more better, because now the people you're vacationing with, you're actually closer to and connecting to more.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
What were you gonna say, Jason? Oh, my batteries.
No, I was about to switch it up, but I'll let Jason go.
No, go ahead, switch it up. Go ahead.
All right, so cool. So clothes, right? So let's, you know, we always talk about social media and all that, and you know, there's a lot of people on social media, you know, friends and all that we have that, You know, they get the big Versace, the big Gucci, right? But when you with them, you know, on social media, they going hard for the gram. But when you with them, you're like, yo, so let's go here. But they're complaining about money. Yep. And I'm like, but on IG, you got the big Versace symbol on your shirt, and you popping bottles in the club, and you can't go to Papados, you know what I'm saying? Or you tripping about, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let's get this Airbnb. It's gonna be $100 a person. You're like, a night? Like, yeah, Mr. Gucci, $100
US dollars?
Is that okay?
Like, yeah.
So I also, in my humble opinion, I think you can't. I call them. Everyone has their vices, and everyone's a snob about something, right? There's people that are like fashion snobs, right? Where they have to have this quality. And there's people that are snobs with like cars, like they got to have like a new top of the line car. I think the issue is when you spread yourself thin and got to have the top of the line car, the top of the line fashion. You got to, you know, take your 2 trips a year overseas to make sure, you know, people know you are out here living, getting it. You got to be in the club, and when you go in the club, it only has to be VIP, and things of that nature, where across the board, you're just high end, right? And I feel that, you know, like I always say, I drive a 2010 Corolla that saves me on a lot. But when I go out of town, I spend money. You guys know I don't drink, but when we go out, it's like, yeah, I understand when we go out and we're out of town, we're doing VIP, and I'm gonna pay my share because it's the experience. I know when we go out, we're gonna stay somewhere nice. I'm gonna pay my share, but I know I have extra income because I don't have a car payment. I have extra income because I shop at Zara and Express, and I don't have any, you know, $200-$300 shirts in my closet. I don't have $400 or $500 belts in my closet, and that just frees things up so I can enjoy. My preference is the experience aspect. My preference is the having a real nice house aspect versus, you know, having a real nice car. And because I know you've seen people with the nice cars, and then you pull up in a, you know, Section 8, you know, trap house.
Right.
Or you like, oh my goodness, like, okay, I see where your funds are going. So I think you gotta have the priority as to what you value most, and then, you know, kind of just prioritize it, and just kind of know, especially at a certain age, when you're still grinding, you're still trying to get it, you can't really have it all at once.
Yeah. For me, with clothes and you know, we talked about this before. For me, the brand that's not appealing to me. I don't have to go out and, you know, get Versace or Gucci or anything like that. That doesn't, as long as it looks nice and the price is reasonable, I'm cool with it, because you could pretty much put some shit together and look good. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be name brand. But also, in saying that, it's kind of hard if you are into name brand, high-end name brand stuff. It's hard to go around that price. You can't, you know what I mean, go out and rent a Gucci shirt. You know what I mean? Like, it's
right.
You can't. You can buy it and keep the tags on and turn the shit in after you're done if you want to do that. But if you're the type of person that, like, I have to have this brand, it's hard to go around that price. It's like sneakerheads, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't be a sneakerhead going and picking up fake J's. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, you can't do it. So you're going to be spending $150, $250, $300 on shoes. And if you're making, you know, let's say the average person is making $50,000 to $60,000 a year, I mean, you're gonna put something to the wayside. You know what I mean? You're gonna put something else to the wayside, or you're gonna spread yourself too thin.
Yeah, and the thing with that is you can afford those things. People can, but you gotta, like we said, the topic of this whole podcast, you gotta budget for it. It says balling on a budget, meaning I don't care if you have 6, 7, 10 figures, you still have to budget. As a matter of fact, I'm more on the side of the more money you have, the more you gotta budget. because the more you have, you got to control it. You got to make sure you don't lose what you have. So you have to budget your stuff. So if you want to buy these J's, you know, they're trying to come out, nothing wrong with them. They're gonna sit here and say, well, that's a waste of money. If that's what you enjoy, you go ahead and do that, but make sure that your budget, you know, is done in a way you can do that comfortably. The way you're not like, got these new J's, but I'm not gonna have lights next month. I'm gonna figure it out.
Exactly.
Better call my grandma and put some money on this utility bill. That's a problem. But if you buying these J's, you still got you pay your bills, you got a car, you got food, you got, you know, your transportation. You're fine. You do what you got to do. Nobody can tell you what's right or what's wrong. Even if you, we talked about earlier about the cars, even if you buy with a Lamborghini, you got to do all the maintenance and the kit upkeep and all that. As long as they don't break you, you have budgeted for that. Okay, then you're good to go. Budget may be higher or lower depending on your income, but you have to budget. People have this assumption that once you hit a certain amount of wealth, certain amount of money, I ain't got a budget no more. Nah, you got to budget more. You know what I mean? How many people you know, we've known or read about multi-millionaires that file bankruptcy and go broke?
Yeah, they're worse off than when they were before they started. Because they owe the government. They go into jail because of back taxes. You know, they can never get right. You know, their net worth is in the negative. And when growing up, when they were broke, their net worth was like zero. Now their net worth, you know, negative 1.3 mil. It's it's very disheartening that, you know, they didn't have that financial literacy or that discipline to understand. $10 million is great, but spending $12 million is not so great. Right. Especially, you know, that person who's making $80,000 a year and spending $65,000 a year is in a way better off position. Way better off position. So I also follow suit since I've gotten older with the accomplishments rewards. So for instance, if I have an accomplishment for, you know, if I get a certification, if I get a rank, I commensurate that with a gift to myself, you know, more of a high value gift. For instance, I'm at 17 years. So when I retire in 3, I always wanted a Rolex. So, you know, and I just could never justify paying that $6,000 plus price tag. But to commensurate my 20-year career and heading on to the future, I felt like I'm locked in. I'm going to do this, right? I'm gonna do that. And then, you know, we're gonna take me and the wife and family, we're gonna take like a tour of the world, you know what I'm saying? Something crazy like that. But to me, that really helps me with justifying that and also rewarding yourself for hard work versus just sporadically saying, you know, walking in a mall on a Saturday and say, man, I really like that watch. Epic. I mean, you know, I got the American Express, let me swipe it, you know, and really, and then it also has more meaning. It ties in, you know, when someone said, nice watch, like, yeah, I actually got it when I graduated with my master's degree. I actually got it when I retired, you know what I'm saying? Or the wife got it for me when we hit our 10-year anniversaries, things of that nature.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I try to like reward myself for the accomplishments that I've, you know, those goals that I've hit throughout life.
You like, y'all, this bitch 300. Time.
With that t-shirt.
Time to head to the mall.
The shirts do get a little smaller when I get those. But like for retirement, because you guys know I'm about a year and a half off from retirement. One thing that I want to get based on my second career, VA compensation, and all of that, I do want to get a new car. Not a new car, but, you know, like something nicer than what I have. I mean, granted, I got a 14, it's a Cadillac SRX, but that's the family car. You know, that's a family car is gonna be paid off. I want something for myself. So based on, you know,
no family in this. Hey, get your ass. Y'all go that Cadillac.
Bro, y'all get the Cadillac.
No Tito's in this ride.
I want to be look, it's the Night Rider. I'm trying to be in the Night Rider. So that's what I've been thinking about. Eventually I will I'm looking into a Rolex. That is something I want also. But I totally agree with like just rewarding yourself for, you know, big accomplishments, man.
Man, I feel corny, man. Y'all talking about some Rolexes and nice cars. Guess what I wanted to buy myself 10 years ago?
Guns. How many guns?
No, of course, a firearm. But I was like, yo, I'm gonna get a horse.
Look, I'm trying to get something.
Hey,
I'm dead serious.
Hey, remember when Dave Chappelle, when they gave the reparations, and he's like, I just bought a baby.
But my goal was I wanted a horse, man, with a stable, everything. I wanted my own horse for retire. Okay, I don't want to. I want a horse when I retire. Of course, I didn't buy one. I realized later on that it's too much work for me. I don't want to deal with all that. But
and it's expensive. It's like that overhead for a horse. Woo.
I didn't even get that far. The upkeep, and I was like, nah, I'm like doing that's another job. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Damn, man. So a horse?
Yeah, I ended up getting chickens instead.
and you did spend, you splurged on that lace front wig you got on too. It looks real. Hey, you spent a lot of money on that. Good job, bro. It's supernatural.
Now, that's soul glow, man.
Dang,
all
man.
natural.
Bro, a horse. Man, you really are a country boy, man.
Country, man. I keep it close to earth as possible.
Yeah, you pickup trucks, horses and shit, chickens.
Yeah, man. But I didn't get the horse though. I didn't get the horse.
Okay.
Hey.
All right. What do you think about vices, like expensive vices, where, you know, balling on a budget could derail you, like, you know, eating out every day, eating at certain restaurants every day, you know, even things that could be considered practical that adds up, like gym memberships. When, you know, in the military, we have free things at the base, right? We had the free fitness center at the base, you know, Netflix subscriptions, this Zoom subscription, things that could be free, but, you know, you subscribe to them and it adds up. For instance, like going to the club every week, getting VIP every week, you know, things that you may not think, this is only $50 a month. This is only, you know, $200 a week. And it's really putting a dent into your budget.
Oh yeah, I think it's kind of one of those things. It's if you're not budgeting, it's like out of sight, out of mind, right? You go VIP, you go to the club, you buy VIP, money's gone, you're having a good time, you don't even think about it the next day, right? Until you really look at your account and you're like, oh damn, maybe I shouldn't have bought that extra bottle.
Turned up a little too much.
Yeah. Or food. I think food is a really big one. You know, for me, I know you guys do the same thing. I know y'all meal prep a lot. I meal prep a lot. The only time I buy food is for lunch. And that's only to break the monotony of just eating the same thing all the damn time. So I usually go out somewhere and I'll get something for lunch. But if I'm at the house, I'm pretty much eating what I cooked. So I mean, I know people that literally they buy their breakfast. You know, this is a normal work day. They buy their breakfast, they go to Starbucks, they buy lunch, and then they're probably buying something for dinner. I mean, that adds up really quickly.
Yeah,
and, you know,
$40, $50 a day.
Easy. Like that adds up. And I tell people, like, meal prepping is the easiest thing in the world, man. And you can just get what you like to eat.
Yeah, you gotta be disciplined, because you do that meal prep, and then for one, you gotta go to the grocery store. You gotta order anything. You gotta put everything away. Then you gotta, you know, wash everything. You gotta season everything. You gotta cook everything. Then you gotta put them in your containers, and then you have to, you know, wash all the pots and pans. The easy part is, when it's all done, you know, in the morning, you just open the refrigerator, pull out what you need, put it in your bag. But, you know, I think you just really have to be disciplined. And it's one of those deals, like one of our guests, previous guest, KB, you get in the routine. KB always says, I don't do nothing on Sunday. I'm meal prepping.
I was just about to say
on Sunday. Like, I'm prepping for the week. And it's a habit, you know, it's habitual. And I think Just like, and it's a good habit. And you know, just how people have bad habits. When you get in that routine and you build good habits, good things happen. You start seeing results, like going to the gym every day.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, so that's what I usually meal prep is Sundays, right? So you got to look at it like this: it's essentially time versus money. So what's really more important? You spending $50 a day on meals, or taking a Sunday and spending 2 hours to go to the grocery? And you don't even got to go to the grocery store. You can have that shit delivered to you now. So you get your groceries delivered to you, and you spend an hour and a half cooking for at least the next 4 days. You know, I mean, I just don't, you know, and then I hear the excuse, well, I don't like eating the same thing every day. You don't have to make the same thing. You can make a variety of food. Like when I meal prep, let's say I'll do like a turkey, some chicken for my proteins, and then my veggies could be like peas and broccoli, spinach, you know what I mean? And then potatoes, right? So you can make a variety of things and break the monotony of just eating chicken, asparagus, and rice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Something else you can do to save money on food and be healthier, have a better lifestyle is skip a meal. Don't eat. Don't eat at all. Don't eat breakfast. Right now, let's say Americans, we eat breakfast, get up in the morning, eat breakfast, go to work. Then we have a break at work, so we eat lunch. And then we come home and eat the evening. So our eating schedules are based on our work schedules. That's how we eat. Maybe a natural way to eat. If you get up in the morning, you're not hungry, don't eat. Wait till later in the afternoon or in the evening when you get home. What you can do is intermittent fast. Intermittent fasting will actually save money and be healthier for your body. Where your body's not going through digestion.
More calories,
Yeah, less calories and everything. So you're gonna feel better and your budget's gonna feel better.
Yeah.
You know? Now I would say don't just do that just to save money. Like I must get breakfast for a week because I don't want to pay for it. Nah, it has some health, benefits to it. Focus on that first. But the secondary consequence is you're gonna save money because you're not eating as much.
Yeah. Make it make sense, essentially.
Yeah.
But at the same time, everybody can't go hunting like you, Jason.
You ain't gotta hunt.
Or be hunting squirrel.
Nah, man.
This how you save money. Get some chickens, eat their eggs. Good.
Get some chickens and eat their ass, bro. But no, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's just so many different ways you can go about ensuring that you are consuming the right food, right? That's healthy for you. And then just making those healthy choices to change your body into what you want it to be. Eating out, I guarantee you're not going to be eating what you should be eating to stay healthy every day. No. It's not going to happen because you're going to throw fast food in there. You know what I mean? Even if you're going to Chipotle, everything there isn't healthy. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, that shit is just crazy to me. I couldn't do it. Not 3-4 times a day eating out. That's the same to me.
Nah. Mm-mm.
All right, gents. So what do we need to leave the people that they could take with them right now and have them balling on a budget? I'll go first. There's this app called Personal Capital. That is Personal Capital that basically you can link your bank, your credit card, if you're comfortable with, or you can just manually input it. But basically every week, I'm pretty sure, I think Mint.com does the same thing, but every week it tracks your net worth and tracks how much you're spending compared to, the previous weeks and how you're doing. And you don't think about it, but weekly, just like the iPhone tells you your screen time, this app will tell you, Personal Capital app will tell you, hey, you spent $4,000 this week. This is, $1,500 more than the previous week. But if you just bought, some furniture, that makes sense. But let's just call it, you just on a regular week, you spent $300 more, and you're kind of thinking to yourself, what, nothing changed. Like, let me dive into that. And then you may say, oh, wow, I went out 3 times this week. Dang, that added up. So having those constant reminders may just have you thinking more and have you become more disciplined and deliberate with your spending. So that's what I recommend, getting a app or signing up for a for a service like personal capital or something similar.
Yeah, I would say be comfortable with your finances. Be comfortable with just being honest with yourself. If you feel like you're spending too much, dial it back. You don't have to go all out anytime you go out, or if you go shopping, you ain't got to go get the nicest, most expensive brand names. Like, most people don't really give a damn what brand of clothes you're wearing. Like, it's as long as you look nice and presentable, it pays dividends, like literally. So just be comfortable with being honest with yourself and, you know, your spending.
Yeah. One thing I have is understanding what's different between being able to buy something and being able to afford something. Just because you can buy something, you have the money to do it, does not mean you can afford it. The reason you can know that is, you go back to what Reese just said, is you got to get a budget together to know where your money is going. Every single dollar, know where it's going. That way you can kind of get a hold of it and realize, okay, what can I afford based on what my income is? Just having cash available does not mean you have it available to spend it on what you want to spend it on. You got to understand where those dollars are going, where they're allocated, and you have to know every single dollar. So go back, whatever you want to use, an app, whatever you want to use, a spreadsheet, but find out where your money is going, and based on how much you got going in, that way you can keep a track on it. I don't care if you have $2 million or if you have $20,000 in income, you need to know where your money is going. So you got to start with budgeting. All
right, people. Well, there you have it. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe. Make sure you comment on this episode. Let us know what you like, how we can do better. And we'll see you next week. Thank you. We out.
Thanks for coming through. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content. Also, ensure that you like us on IG. And also, you can listen to the audio version on all streaming formats like Apple and Spotify.